Hello everyone, we're here playing Aphotic Descent. We're testing it out. We have a few different bugs written down, things that we noticed that were not so great. But at the same time, the game was still fun. At least in my opinion, I still found it entertaining. I wanted to fight through every little issue I did find, but ultimately just wanted to make sure that we address those issues, at least for the game designer, so they know what to do in the next screen. One of my members didn't exactly read this note to the game testers, so this explains one of his notes where he didn't realize that the numbers were, intended to be able to change through the different levels, but that's fine. It's something that at least we were playing around with everything on the keyboard and making sure that nothing crashed the game. Um, but that was an issue that was mentioned. Uh, we'll dive further into the rest of these things. So, starting from level 1, can go in through here. Let's get to the meat of it. One thing that was definitely very, how do I say, inconvenient while it's loading is the navigation system. We can just talk a little bit about how, you'll see at least in the very beginning that it tells you to go to places, but since the world's a little big, you don't exactly know how to get there. And I will credit them that they provided a good environment. There's a lot going on. You can see a lot of things on the map, but there isn't exactly a good indication of where to go. Let's make sure we pick up our items here. Um, and let's get on with it. So, not to really go through everything, at least, you see that it tells you to do that. R to function the black light, and that works well, but they don't explain to be conserving your flashlight, nor does the UI on the flashlight properly display that it will recharge. And my fellow uh, testers were a little confused by when the flashlight recharge would happen, and I understand that concern because at first I was also a little confused, but I did notice that it does eventually recharge after it's fully depletes, so that's okay. Now, in this first level, one of the main issues that all of us encountered was issues with the first, you see, so find a way through the kelp maze. So that's, it tells you what to do, but, there's no like radar or um, maybe beam of light of some kind to tell you. I mean, you can see that there's that structure there, but, some of the parts of the path are a little hard. You will eventually run into an enemy that is quite hard to get past at times because he kind of doesn't die. I don't think he dies because I spent a lot of time hitting him. My fellow testers also did, and all it does is seem to like send him backwards, and there's really not much more you can do there. But as you can see, I'm making my way since I did know where to go, really. I haven't run into the fish yet, which is surprising. When I was playing on my first few playthroughs, I definitely. Oh, as I say that, here he comes. Oh, where did he go? You heard the music. So maybe this is a bad example to show of that specific problem, but maybe I can encounter him if I go back. Yes, here we go. Here he is. So you see, you can kind of just keep hitting him. He does not die, and he will kill you if he gets to you. So I made it look rather easy to get to this part, and that's only because I recognize the path, but he will just kill you. And that happened quite a lot until you really figure out where to go. So I will say that was an issue in this level. Let's move on to the rest of this part. See, you're here now in this part of the level. You know, you read all of the different things to give you kind of clues on where to go. And it's you know it gives you a description, but it still lacks in terms of instruction, I would say. And that's mainly because you know those pieces of information only uncover so much. You know, more just about the lore than exactly what to do. I, you know, I understand that we're all students here making games as to the best of our abilities, so I don't fault them again. I was very impressed with what they were able to do nonetheless. 1 6 2 4 5 3 6. So you know we did that. One thing that I didn't realize, and maybe I should have a lot faster, was that this was the door that opened. I was looking in all the other rooms before I decided to look in here, and I get that that is probably my fault. But again, the misdirection of the UI, because all the other doors seem to be locked at first as well. So go here, check the door. Um, here. And you can see different things there. And even now, you know, I played through the game, did a whole playthrough, but I kind of forgot how I got past here, because I remember now that I made it through. And my flashlight, what was it that I did? So I know eventually you get to the new suit. Check the door. Is it this door maybe? Yes, okay, there we go. You see, I slightly forgot, but I eventually remembered. But yeah, you know, navigation could be better. You know, maybe utilize, if you can see in the top left corner, there's blank, uh, a blank black circle. I believe that could maybe have been utilized to um, better show exactly what to do with that. Um, so now we're gonna kind of hop on into here into the next part where you go to find the cave. It informs you that there's an eel that is generating power of some kind, and um, you know, there it's been through a lot. It's taken a lot of damage. The scientists kind of just keep running wicked experiments on it. Um, that was the direction you need to go. I didn't get to explore this area last time, so I don't know if maybe that's something that they just wanted to, you know, make sure the player had another direction to go, even if it's closed off. Alright, now we get to what I believe is the hardest part of the game, and you can get an example now of what happens when the flashlight runs out. As you can see, even transferring from scene to scene, my flashlight was still able to run out and did not recharge. This scene right here, I don't even know if I'm gonna record the entire battle. It takes quite some time to perfect. The main issues that we were all realizing, I think I stated pretty well, is that you didn't even know you could hit that generator with just this knife. At least for me, for quite some time, I did not. I had to, you know, mention that to my teammates. But yeah, you know, you definitely need to make sure that you go and see how the generator was to be destroyed, because it says to do it. I just wouldn't have believed it possible with just this little knife. Then the eel, for the most part, You know, and one thing that we all complained about for sure was the stamina system. You know, you have to really, really find maybe it's a specific set of ground. Oh, at least you get to see it. A def here. I get that on video. Um, you know, you can stay on a specific piece of ground, and your stamina won't recharge. And even in my opinion, I was thinking it's like you're underwater. If you just stop moving, you're resting. You know, we don't have to worry about breathing. We're in a suit. So as long as you wouldn't be moving, I believe that would be okay to be recharging stamina that way. But that's just again things that I was thinking in my opinion. You now have to navigate these waters with something that can kill you in one shot every time that it hits you. And you can see that those little things are kind of dug out there and intentional for you to be able to maybe recharge your stamina, but you really have to try to get into a good position sometimes. You see my stamina is still running out, but I'm standing perfectly still, so I have to get more in the center area. So I don't know if it's a collider thing, if they have it set to where it has to be a specific part, but you see, it took me a very long time to learn that as well. I thought that I couldn't get up on these walls for a very long time because you would go try to get up and you couldn't get up because you're stuck on a collider here. Wow, and it just totally embarrassed me by making it look possible. But it was not possible for quite some time. If you tried to ride up the wall, you were not getting up. Yeah, you see, not getting up. And that was a big issue for me because, if you were a player who wasn't willing to continue to test and break through, you'd probably get frustrated and not want to keep playing. Um, Definitely. Um, let's see. There was definitely many complaints about the flashlight system. They didn't, and I think I mentioned it already, it was more just an issue of not being able to understand when it was going to recharge, if it was going to recharge. Um, my final complaint as far as um, this level, the biggest thing that I noticed, and maybe I'll be able to capture it on video here if I show you the full fight. I guess I might as well because it's a big issue and it should be included in the video. So I'm gonna try my best to speedrun it and not mess this up. But essentially, you do go through this process of destroying all these generators, which is rather difficult, while avoiding being killed by this one-shot enemy. See another collider that's just kind of getting in my way here, but I'm gonna try not to be annoyed by it. So gotta get to this generator, and if you don't do it in this order, then it kind of makes my point even more clear. Another collider that is yet getting in my way. But the clear point here that needs to, okay, this is just really not working. Let's try one last time here, because this is exactly where you need to get up. Okay, can I thank you? Alright, you see, it is quite difficult, it is frustrating. And the one thing that kept me going was honestly the horror aspect of the game, because it's scary. It is scary that when you can't get up on that collider sometimes, then this eel was potentially coming after you as you fall to your death. Sometimes you can see that that thing also, the eel goes through the walls, which in my opinion shouldn't be the case because it is most definitely going to, okay, see how it dies? It will come back to life. You see, it came back to life. It's going to attempt to kill me, I'm sure. Uh, yep, here he comes. Nope,
Surviving
you
the
see,
crash and
I was
escaping the
able to
jaws of the
avoid
kelp
dying
forest,
after
our lone
doing what
diver
I
seeks
needed to
refuge
do.
in the lab. To
You
his
know, I
surprise,
completed the
all traces of a
objective.
scientist.
We're gonna definitely skip this because it's overlapping my audio. Sorry about that. But yeah, what I was trying to say, you know, is that if you make the objective destroy the 4 generators in order to kill this enemy, then that should kill the enemy. Now, if you have it come back to life, at least state that if you don't make it to the center, you know, or maybe make another object that makes sense that you would kill it with, you know, finalize the kill with, because it just came back to life and killed you after you did exactly what you were told to do, and it was quite hard to do. You know, I only was able to do that in that amount of time because I knew what to do already. But before, when I was trying to figure it out and do the right sequence, you know, because I was doing different generators in a different, you know, in a different order, and if you didn't do that final generator at the bottom last, you were not going to make it to the center fast enough, and the eel is going to still be moving. You wouldn't even have seen that it dies and does a death animation. So I think it is very important that they at least maybe specify that you destroy the generator at the bottom last, or make it not possible to destroy that one until all the other 3 are destroyed, because that was a big issue, a very big issue. Um, Other than that, again, thank you to the creators for making the game. It is still impressive. It very much reminds me of BioShock. I am a huge BioShock fan, so I do actually respect them and thank them for, you know, creating something that was similar in an experience. Um, and yeah, we all enjoyed working out the kinks here, figuring out little things to give feedback on. And I appreciate everybody who watched the video for supporting the community, the game dev community. Thank you for watching and have a great day.